Well, howdy, welcome back to the channel. So guys, I'm back in the shop. It's been a while, but I'm ready to do another woodworking project. Today we're going to be making these. They are hardwood baby rattles. They're definitely in my top 3 favorite project to make because they're so easy. You can make them pretty quickly. I've sold a few of them. I've given some away at baby showers, which is perfect. You can choose whatever animal you like, so whether the customer wants this animal or this animal, it's so easy to do that. All you need is just a template you print off of the internet. I've made a hippo, I've made an elephant, I've made a rabbit. They're just so much fun to do. So the things you're going to need for this project is you're definitely going to want to use hardwood, because when the babies put them in their mouths, something like that, you don't want soft woods that they can splinter and give the baby splinters. That would not be good. So then we use a hardwood, whether you use oak, poplar. I'm going to be using oak today. That's just what I usually do, and I like the grain of it. And also, you're also going to need a food grade finish. So I'm going to be using my beeswax finish, which works perfect. So without further ado, let's get into it. Another reason I love this project is because there's only minimal tools that you need. You don't need a miter saw. You don't need the big expensive tools. All you need is a jigsaw, a drill, and a special hole saw bit. I'll show you that. So this is him here. Let's see if I can figure out what the size of it is. So this is a 2.5 inch hole saw bit. This I've used for every single one, and it works great. The other tool you're going to need, which you don't really need it just definitely helps the process speed up, is a router. Whether you have a palm router or a big router like I have. I would prefer a palm router. I don't have one, so I'm going to be using this one. But we're just going to need a round over bit. If not, I've done it to where I've just sanded it before and it turned out just as good. It just takes a little bit longer. Okay, so here are my templates. Here's my rabbit. This I just again printed off the internet. And then you're just going to drill the hole here. Here's the hippo, which I've done multiple one of these. Once again, you just do it in the stomach. And this is everybody's favorite. Everybody I've talked to always wants elephants. This one's a nice one. And then you just do it in the stomach. I'll go ahead and do the eyes too. That way I know where the eyes are going to be going. So that way I'm not guessing each and every time. So today we're going to be doing the elephant just because that's everybody's favorite. So let's get started. So laminating your stencils will definitely help, so that way they're not flopping everywhere. I just didn't get around to doing it. But I've done so many of them now where it's just like, well, I can kind of figure it out, but it would definitely help if you laminated that. Here's what we have so far. It's all cut out. It's kind of rough, we haven't sanded it or anything. But this is what you should have so far. That broke out a little bit, but I'll be able to sand that off, so I'm not too worried about that. But anyway, that's what we have so far. Let's go ahead and route it. Okay, so this is after it's been routed roughly. Obviously it didn't get into some places. But next step is just going to be sanding these edges to kind of smooth them out and make them even. And then just kind of smooth this guy out. You can either do that with an orbital sander or just by hand, but I think I'm just going to do it by hand. Okay, so now that we got this far, it's not fully sanded. I didn't go ahead and sand it completely because we still have one more step, and that is to cut a gigantic hole inside the belly here in order to make the rattle part. So let's take it over to the drill press and we'll get that hole cut out. Okay, so to figure out where the hole is going to go, we don't want it directly in the middle, and here's why. If you put it directly in the middle, let me scoot the camera in. Okay, so yeah, if we stick it directly in the middle, you can see how much more, still much of a gap here, and it's going to be harder for you to drill for the dowel to go in here. So you're not going to want it directly in the middle, you're actually going to want it pretty close to here, just not enough to where it breaks it off. So you can kind of guess, there's not a perfect place to do it, just as long as you don't come over too far this way. It would be better for you to do it this way than it would be for you to go too far this way. But somewhere between here and here is perfect. So all we're going to do here is just make the hole. So I've already made one here. It was a little off, so I'm going to move it over just a little bit. It's not going to matter if you mess up because the hole's going to be way bigger than what these are. So all I'm going to do is just move it over a little bit, just create the hole first, and then back it back out because we're going to have to clamp it down because you don't want your fingers so close to the hole saw. So I got the hole where I want it. So all I'm going to do is just take a spring clamp, go ahead and put it where it's going to be, like that, so that way it holds it into place, and then you can just spring clamp it, and that way it doesn't move as you're hole sawing. So I actually moved it to this side. This side seemed a little bit more sturdier, but you can see now it ain't going nowhere. So that way when I drill, I don't have to worry about my hands being close to it. Okay, so you'll see that I started to cut the hole, and then you'll come back here and you'll see there's already a hole pre-drilled where at the bottom of this hole saw made, so that way I can turn it around, and that way I'm not breaking through like I did with the eye. I can just turn it back around and then go in from this way, and then it should meet, and that way it doesn't cause any kind of breakouts over here. Okay, so there it is. So now what we're going to be doing to do the rattle is we're going to be drilling a hole through the top of here, down into about here to make it kind of like this. But before we can do this, we need to go ahead and route out the circle. That way it's not so rough. There we go. So that's all routed and sanded and nice and smooth. So now, like I said, we're just going to take a drill bit just about this size, maybe a little bit bigger. This is what I'm using here. So this dowel that I'm using is a 3/16. So I'm going to find a drill bit that's just a little bit bigger than this, just to where this can fit tightly. So the way that you can find out what drill bit works is just to take both ends and just put them together. I don't know if you can see that, and you can see that the drill bit's just a little bit bigger than the dowel is, so this is a perfect drill bit. So if you have a visor, this is visor's time to shine. I don't have one, so I'm just going to kind of make a makeshift one, which I've done before. I'm just going to take a spring clamp, put it to the behind my table, and then kind of lift this up like this. And then just squeeze it. So you're going to take your dowel, and you're just going to kind of stick it to where you think that you're going to want it, and make sure that it's even within the hole. So look down here and make sure that this side isn't bigger than this side. And then after you're done with that, see, I guess about there. You're just going to mark where you're going to do the hole. Okay? And then you're gonna go down here and do the best you can to mark where the hole's gonna be. Like that. You're gonna take your drill bit or your drill, and you're just gonna try to angle it perfect. So I guess just like that. So now that we got our holes drilled, we're gonna do a test fit. Just like that. So this next part is gonna be the rattlers that are on this line. So what I like to do is I like to use different types of woods. I've done dark walnut, things like that. Cut out a square and then cut out a circle. And then that way you get different colors with this instead of just one color. So I'm gonna be using dark walnut and then that mystery wood that I never figured out what it was. So I'll take you with me. So here's my two different pieces of wood. Definitely the dark one, and then more of a red. I was gonna do poplar, but I don't know if more of a greenish grayish color is gonna look good with it. I thought it might, but I'm just gonna stick with what I know. And so we're gonna make this the square, and this is gonna be the circle. This is what I end up afterwards. So all I'm gonna do now is it's gonna end up looking like that. But you're just gonna drill with the same drill bit that you did with the elephant, right here in these holes, right in the center of these. Okay, so now that that's all done, we're just gonna do a test fit by sticking this in there. And then we'll do a square first, then the circle, and then just send it down in there to that end. All right, so what you're wanting with this is you want to hold this down and then shake it. You hear the rattling sound, and then moving up and down, and you know it's perfect. So now all we're going to do is we're just going to take the dowel and build it like we just did. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it out, take some wood glue, put some of that glue in there. Kind of wipe it out so you don't get any globs. And then just put the stick inside the hole. And then take a napkin. You don't want the glob to be on there. Clean it out. Now if you can figure out a way to clamp this, that would be great. If not, just prop it up against a piece of wood. Okay, so after it's not completely dry yet, but it's almost. So next thing you're going to do is you're just going to cut this flush. So I'm just going to use my scroll saw to do that. Okay, you might need to sand it a little bit. We're just gonna take a little bit more type on and just dab it in there. And then just take your finger and just kind of dab it, because you want that glue to get inside there, inside that hole. You just take your napkin and just lightly go over it. Well, there you go, guys. That's the building process of it. All you gotta do now is seal it with something, like I said, food grade at the beginning of this video, so something like this butcher block conditioner. It's just beeswax and mineral oil. Totally safe for babies if they suck it in their mouths. Another thing to note is make sure this thing is sanded, because you don't want any kind of splinters or anything like that for the baby to accidentally get stuck with. So, but other than that, it's definitely a fun project to do. I'm going to show you me staining it after the glue is completely done. But that's pretty much it, other than finishing it. So, I'll wait for the 30 minutes, and then and we'll come back and finish it. Okay, so the glue is pretty much dry. Got that nice rattle sound. Next, the last thing to do is just to finish it. Like I said, I'm just going to be using this butcher block conditioner. We'll see what the end product looks like. Well guys, there you have it. Like I said, these things are fun to make. Just be creative with it. You know, pick different animals you want to do, and just have fun with it. I have sold a few of these, so if you're looking to sell some, I would recommend this being one of your products, because people go into baby showers and stuff are looking for gifts, and so this would be a perfect gift, I think. Like I said, I've given some for baby showers, and everybody's enjoyed them. So anyway guys, there it is. Hope you guys try it. It is a fun project. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like what you see right here, please hit the subscribe button and that like button. It helps my channel out a lot. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.